It was a quiet afternoon at the elegant Aurelia Hotel, the kind of place where marble floors whispered of money and chandeliers scattered, their golden light over lives untouched by struggle. Among the hum of refined chatter and the clinking of crystal glasses stood a young waitress, Norah Velen, her hands trembling slightly as she adjusted her apron. 2 weeks into the job, she was invisible among the polished elite who never looked twice at those who served them. But that day, one moment, one small act, would change everything, leaving even the coldest hearts in tears. If you believe in kindness, compassion, and second chances, stay with us, because stories like this remind us that even the smallest gestures can speak louder than words. Norah had always lived quietly. Life had never offered her the luxury of confidence or noise. Her father left when she was 12. Her mother worked double shifts to keep their home afloat. And in those long evenings, Norah found comfort in silence, learning sign language to communicate with her younger brother, Eli, who was born deaf. It became her secret world, a space where words couldn't wound. And love didn't need sound. The Aurelia Hotel was everything her life wasn't, a sanctuary of gold ceilings, soft music, and quiet wealth. That afternoon, Norah was assigned to Table 9, reserved for billionaire Adrian Cole and his mother, Margaret Cole, a woman of grace, pearls, and quiet dignity. Adrian was brilliant, but cold, a man who built an empire and forgot the warmth of humanity along the way. When Norah approached, palms damp with nerves, she noticed something. Margaret wasn't responding to the waiter's questions. She smiled faintly instead, trying to read lips. Then Norah saw it. The small hearing aid behind her ear, and the way Adrian leaned close whenever he spoke to her. Her heart tightened. She recognized it instantly. That rhythm of love between two worlds, one filled with sound, the other wrapped in silence. Adrian looked up, his expression impatient. He expected speed and formality, not hesitation, not empathy, but before he could speak, Norah took a small breath and began to sign. Her fingers moved gracefully. "Would you like still or sparkling water?" For a heartbeat, the room froze. Margaret's eyes widened. Her hand flew to her chest. Then tears. Tears of recognition, of joy. She signed back slowly. "You know sign language?" Norah smiled and nodded. Adrian stared, stunned. For years, the world had treated his mother with polite pity. Waiters avoiding her, guests pretending not to notice. But now, across the white linen table, his mother was laughing, her hands dancing in rhythm with a stranger's. As lunch went on, something beautiful unfolded. Norah didn't just serve. She connected. She signed every question, every menu option, adding light-hearted gestures that made Margaret's eyes sparkle like they hadn't in years. Whispers spread through the dining hall. But Adrian didn't care. For the first time in years, he wasn't thinking about profits or deadlines. He was simply watching his mother come alive. For Norah, it was more than kindness. It was memory. Every sign brought back her brother Eli, who had passed away 2 years earlier after a long illness. Each gesture was a quiet conversation with him, a chance perhaps to say goodbye one last time. When the meal ended, Margaret insisted on meeting her. She clasped Norah's hands tightly, tears shimmering. She signed, "You made me feel seen. You reminded me I'm not alone." Norah's lips trembled as she signed back. "You reminded me that love never disappears." The air between them felt sacred. Later, Adrian called Norah aside. She braced for reprimand, but his voice was different now, softer. He told her how his mother had felt isolated for years, and how no one had ever cared enough to reach her the way Norah had. Then, for the first time, he confessed. His mother had taught him empathy once. But somewhere between boardrooms and battles, he had lost it. Norah had brought it back. When she spoke of her brother, Adrian understood. Without saying much, he arranged for the hotel to sponsor free sign language training for all staff, in memory of Eli. And quietly, he offered Norah a scholarship in special education, believing the world needed more hearts like hers, people who could bridge silence with compassion. Word of that moment spread far beyond the hotel. Guests who witnessed it shared the story online. Soon, it became a symbol of quiet humanity, how one shy waitress did something no amount of wealth could buy. She had spoken to a heart. Without ever using words, Margaret became a frequent visitor, always asking for Norah. Their friendship grew into a living testament that kindness doesn't need sound to be heard. Weeks later, as Norah stood by the window during her break, the city glowing gold beneath the sunset, she whispered a silent thank you to Eli. The world could be lonely, yes, but love always finds a way to return, often through strangers who need it just as much as you do. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Because the world needs more stories reminding us how powerful kindness can be, even when spoken in silence. Before you go, tell us in the comments, would you have done what Norah did? If you were in her place?